What does a YouTube channel made by a drag queen who's also a chemistry teacher have to offer? And who am I? You might not know me like this. Today I will try to answer these questions and also other upcoming questions. And above anything, I want to introduce you to this universe because yes, believe it or not, a long time ago I used to be an active YouTuber. So without further ado, welcome, come in. I am Friday the Professor and this is the Delta Drag. Tervetuloa, tule sisään. Minä olen Friday the Professor ja tässä on Delta Drag. Välkommen, come in. Och det här är Delta Drag. So I had the emergency surgery yesterday and basically my to-do list is empty and I'm home. My husband went to the office to work and I was feeling like I think it's a good time to get back with my activities. Yes, if you follow me, your assumptions about me having a lot of energy, they're not wrong. Somehow I have a lot of energy. So before we continue, I want to ask you to please subscribe because indeed I will try to be more active here and I think this Pride season is the best time to get back. And along the video I will explain why I decided to do this. It's not just because I'm in a sick leave, but it's also because I am reading a lot of things related to things that I used to discuss in this YouTube channel in Portuguese. And I think it's a good timing because my brain is somehow so fermented by many ideas. So my name is Luis, but many people know me as Friday the Professor. And yes, I used to be called Friday Manson, but I changed this in 2021 for obvious reasons. I am a chemistry teacher and I'm in education for almost 15 years. Yes, people, 15 years. I started teaching before graduating in Brazil. So I come from Brazil. I grew up in a state called Paraíba. I'm a son of a really brave and strong woman named Luciana, a single mother who raised 2 children by herself with the support of my grandma and some other people. I did all my education mainly in public schools, also my master's and my chemistry degree as well. And I'm emphasizing this because in Brazil we have private schools, and if we compare private schools with public schools, we're gonna see a gigantic gap, especially when it comes to funds, structure. Nowadays things are a little better in the public, in some public schools, because of course it's a large country and things change if we move city from city, state to state. But in my time, the struggle was real. My school was not good at all, and most of the things I learned, I did because I self-study. So in 2008, I graduated high school. I was accepted to university to study chemistry. I always wanted to be a teacher. I remember playing as a kid of being a teacher with my neighbors, with my sister. I always loved school. I always wanted to be a teacher. So it was not a difficult choice for me, and I was only 16. So I started university 2009, I graduated 2013. The same year, I started studying my master's in teaching of natural sciences, and I conclude 3 years later, 2016. During my master's, I did a thesis about gender relations in science and technology. And it's important to highlight this phase of my life because it was the first intersection between art and education. I identify many possibilities of dialogue between my drag work and education. And just for the record, in 2016, I was celebrating my first year doing drag. Yes, I started 1 year before, motivated by really horrible, not horrible, really traumatic experience. I lost one of my best friends back then. And when I say that drag saved me, was because of that, because I found a refuge in drag, I found refuge in art. And I'm really glad that I found this intersection between art and education. So during that same time, I started giving lectures in school, universities, community centers, online, especially during the pandemic. God, that was a lot. A lot of lectures online. Not only lectures, but workshop, table of discussions, interviews about my thesis about gender relations in science and technology, and also about human rights education. And then we have 20 and 17, the year where big things happened in my life. Just to highlight, that year was the first time I came to Finland to do a professional development program in a university here. And during 2017, which was a big year in my life, I did something that nowadays I see as really bold action. May 17th is the International Day Against LGBTQ plus phobia, and also marks the day where homosexuality was not classified as an illness by the World Health Organization. And during that day, I went to school in drag. That day was really symbolic. Going to school in drag during that day caused a lot of conversations. Let's put it this way, because I ruffled some feathers, and after that, during that month, I was in the news, talk shows, magazine articles. I received a lot of love, a lot of thank you for doing this, as I received hate, especially in social media. That was not an easy time for me. It was really hard. It was rough, and I was really scared. But I focused on the good things. I focused on the light, and I survived, because if we don't do this, we don't survive in this world, right? On top of this, I was doing everything in drag, yes. But during the weekends, I was still playing at gigs, performing, and so on. But this moment where I could be in drag, talking about serious issues, was really overwhelming for me in a good way. 2019, I was eligible for leave with salary, and I decided, okay, I want to get back to Finland. I want to see the seasons passing by. I want to have this really off year to rest and enjoy myself. And remember, 2020, the following year, was a pandemic year. So I moved to this country during the pandemic. Hello, gorgeous.
Boa tarde, meu amor.
Boa tarde, meu amor.
O pão.
Pão, obrigada.
Pão. E o chocolate.
Muito obrigado, meu amor.
De nada.
Now you need to take this out of my camera.
Sim.
Muito obrigado. Tá tudo bem com você?
Tudo bem.
Cansado?
Muito cansado.
Dá uma soneca. Mimi. So I moved to Finland in the middle of the pandemic to study, to do a course that allowed me to be a qualified teacher in this country. Yes, I'm a qualified teacher. Because what? Queer people, they also have brain. And in my head, in my mind, I was really confident about coming back to Brazil when I graduate the year after. But I don't know, something happened. Something happened. And I remember that before that summer, which was my first summer in Finland, everyone relentlessly repeated to me,
No, wait for the summer, wait for the summer, wait for the summer.
and I was like, what the hell people are talking about this summer? What's that different thing about the summer in Finland? Girl, neutral gender girl, by the way. That was such a beautiful summer. 2021 was so warm compared with the last summers I had here. And it was such a beautiful season for me. I remember being up and down biking, exploring cities and places. And in my head, I was like, okay, when the summer is over, I will prep to get back to Brazil in August. But then I met someone incredible, who nowadays I call my husband. Yes. I think as I say in the video that I record in Portuguese, sorry. I think after surviving the pandemic, I realized how privileged I am to be alive. And that moment of my life, I say to myself, I don't want to sacrifice my personal life anymore for professional achievements because I was 20, I don't remember, 29 or 28. In 2022, I got the job position as a substitute teacher in an IB school that I'm so glad that I found that place for me because I felt so embraced there. Because before 2022, I was doing some substitutions gigs in many schools and I never felt so welcome as I am there. And I'm so glad that I'm staying for the next academic year again. And what about my drag life during this time? My drag life in Finland was on hold. I was mainly doing online things for my YouTube channel. By the way, my last video here was in 2021, where I was celebrating 1 year of this channel. But I was doing some lectures, I was doing some online workshops, but that's all. 2022, the year I got married, I also got my first gig here at Street Pride, the bar that now I have all the projects there. But during that time that I moved here, I was basically doing drag home and I was doing drag just for fun, nothing professional. No, was professional because it was good, but not, I was not getting paid. And from 2022 until this moment that we are now, 2024, many things evolve. I learned that I could do other things. So nowadays I have my project, the Fabulous Trivia Night. I am DJ because it was the main thing I started doing as a drag queen. I host events. I give makeup workshops. I produce events. And I have a career in this country. So yeah, as I'm like that movie, everything everywhere all at once. I'm a chemistry teacher who is also a really versatile artist. So what about this YouTube channel? Let me tell you one thing. When I create this YouTube channel, I knew that I was going to come to Finland, and if you have a good memory from school, you might know that the delta, the Greek letter, means variation. And that's the point of this channel, because in Portuguese, I discuss many things, from queer history to human rights educations to teachers' rights and many things, because the idea is diversify the things I discuss here. And why took me so long to start doing this? Let me tell you one thing. If you're watching and if you're a former IB student or even an IB teacher, you know what I'm talking about. Because 2022 was the year that basically I spent adjusting myself, 22 and 23, to learn everything about this universe and also making my material, because as a teacher, I want to be the best. And then you might be wondering, and what were you doing before? I was trying to survive because, moving to Finland was pretty challenging in many senses. We Brazilians, we are so different in many things, many things and many ways from the Finnish culture, and for me it was really hard to adjust. So I could not follow my Brazilian schedule of activities, such as making weekly videos as I used to do, because I was trying to take care of my mental health. And yes, I'm really happy that now I have enough energy and I'm in a really good place of my life where I can keep in track with this channel, because believe or not, my husband always supported me to pursue this project, and we try during some years, some moments such as 2022, last year as well. And yes, I want to welcome you to join this YouTube channel. I will try to post things here and there, because trust me, I have a lot of things to say. I have a lot of things to say. Let's keep it low. But I think you deserve this presentation, because many people see me doing all the things I do, but they don't know much about me. And I think it's good to introduce you a little bit to myself, who I am. Because as queer people, we are everywhere. We are running cities, we are driving buses, we are running companies, and also teaching chemistry, why not? I must confess that I have no words to express my gratitude to life, my gratitude to my Finnish audience, because I now have a community here, and this means a lot to me. Never was my intention to stay in this country. Not because it's not a good place, but because I had my life so well established in Brazil that just thinking about giving up of everything was just so confused. So I'm back. And you might be wondering, what is the plan now? Yes, I will try to keep this YouTube channel both in English and Portuguese, because I have things to say in many languages, believe it or not. So please subscribe, share with your friends. Feel free to promote me. It's free, costs nothing. So for now, that's all. See you here next time at my YouTube channel, Delta Drag.